let me introduce myself. My name is Nabila Horalia. I'm 7th semester student from Indonesian Methodist University. Today, I would like to present you about psycholinguistics, and the subtopic is the human memory. Okay, I will explain to you about memory. Memory is the ability to encode, storage, and remember information and the past experience in brain. Okay, there are three types of memory. First is encoding. Encoding is a process of making a mental representation of information. It can also mean transferring from the short-term memory to the long-term memory. Okay, second is storing. Storing is a process of placing encoded information into relatively permanent storage for later recall. Okay, and the third is remembering. Remembering is the process of retrieving what has been stored in the short-term memory or the long-term memory. So in the general terms, one can be defined memory as the use of past experience to influence or affect human behavior. Types of memory. There are three main types of memory. The first is sensory memory, second is short-term memory, and third is long-term memory. I will explain sensory memory. Sensory memory, the short-term element of memory. In order for anything to enter out memory, it must be picked up by our sense, touch, smells, hearing, sight, and taste. For example, the ability to look at something and remember what it looked like just a second of observation is an example of sensory memory. Short-term memory. Short-term memory, also called working memory. It is everything you are thinking of at the current moment. Take less than 1 minute to process. Is the information we hang out to while doing another process, and it tends to disappear really fast unless we make an effort to remembering it. For example, when you're reading a sentence, you place the beginning of the sentence in the mind, so as to understand the rest of the sentence. 3 is long-term memory. Short-term memory can become long-term memorized through the process of consolidation, which involves rehearsals and meaningful association. Unlike short-term memory encodes information for storage semantically based on meaning and associated. Types of long-term memory. The first is implicit memory, and two is procedural memory. Implicit memory is memory that can be unconsciously recalled. This is also known as procedural memory. It is a memory of skill and how to do things, particular movement of body parts, and use of object of machine. Okay, for example, when you teach a child to write over and over again, eventually it becomes embedded in him until he is able to do it simply without thinking so much about it. Factor affecting implicit memory. The first is stroke, and then stress and depression, drug abuse, lack of sleep, head injury, and meditation. Explicit memory or declarative. Declarative memory is long-term memory, and it is also known as explicit memory.